to keep possession.
Huge bid, gets the time.
Great opportunity for the Germans, and they break with ease.
Throw it the full 80 yards to the field? Are you kidding me? And an incredible catch. You are kidding me.
Oh my God!
One of the plays of the year. stage to keep possession.
Huge bid, gets the time.
Great opportunity for the Germans, and they break with ease.
Throw it the full 80 yards to the field? Are you kidding me? And an incredible catch.
my God!
One of the plays of the year.
Day number 2, Canadian Ultimate Championship Junior Division, Edmonton, Alberta. It's Anthony welcoming you with Clay Howlett for this crossover game in the Open Division, which will feature Toro from Toronto against Manitoba team. Looking forward for an exciting game. These two teams look pretty psyched up. And Clay, you had the opportunity of chatting specifically with the Toro coach just prior to the game. Tons of very interesting insights from the Toronto squad.
Yeah, well, I got to talk to Coach Rob. He was just describing some of their goals for a tournament, like semis is the goal, and go from there. And they've had a pretty good and interesting day one. They actually went to Universe with Dino. The final score in that game on Universe, 7-6.
7-6.
Yes,
That's
the conditions were playing a part. He described that the game was clean. You know, like it wasn't a spirit problem or anything like that to extend the game discussions. It was just a dogfight. It was just, the conditions just made it so difficult. But going Universe with the reigning defending champs for two years in a row is a really big boost for that team. So they were happy. I also got a chance to talk to the coaches from Manitoba, and their goal's a lot different. It's last year they had a disappointing loss in the crossover, and this year they're like, we want to prove that we are better than that. Manitoba Ultimate is not done, they're just like, we want to. I got the sense anyway that they just want to be on the upswing.
So Manitoba on your left-hand side wearing the white jerseys, Toronto in the dark jerseys on your right-hand side. Weather-wise, they were forecasting absolutely no rain, but guess what? Edmonton weather says always surprising and entertaining. So now the rain is pouring on the Edmonton fields as the game is kicking off. And we'd like to take just a moment to say that Edmonton is located on Treaty 6 land and Métis Nation number 4. And we want to acknowledge and thank the diverse Indigenous peoples who call this area home. And we are committed to the diversity and inclusion in sport. We're grateful to be able to play here on these fields due to the stewardship of the land for time immemorial. Toro kicking things off on offense. Right in the middle. Nice sliding catch by Adam Lou, but turnover quickly. First break opportunity for the Toba squad. Nice flick. Right in the heart of the field. 77 Thiessen inside, resetting on his left to Steedwell. Rain is pouring. Steedwell faking the screwer but holds it back, looking for another option. 10 seconds are running away. Great grab. Howie's having to reach out to save that disc. Still, Toba hunting down not only their first point, but potentially the first break point of this crossover game. Nice high release flick on the break side, reaching out to Steadwell again. Quarterbacking this Toba potential break point. Layout, grab. Somebody pumping, but no arms done. Toba scoring not only the first point, but the first break point of this crossover game. 1-0 white jerseys.
Really want to start all your games like that when you're starting on defense. Getting the break and that energy. The energy is really the immediate thing. It's one break. It's the first point of the game. Whatever. But the energy, right? The energy, that is huge. Toba taking it away right away and making a stand. Clean horizontal offense there from the D-line. I mean, we always get caught up in our isms of ultimate and saying, oh, you know, O-line can't play defense, D-line can't cut, you know, and just funny things like that. And of course that is just a stereotype, but seeing some really clean horizontal offense by team of Manitoba, Toba for short. We've got the Toba Toro matchup. Battle of the Beef.
Wow.
We've been told. Thank you,
Toba
producer
and
Kat.
Toro.
We've got the Toro the bull versus Toba the bison. So
It's a challenge for the commentator.
yeah, we got it. But I'd say there's no side. We noticed this in the first game too. There's no real advantageous side of the field. Right now, the wind is coming at our backs. So from behind the camera here toward the bleachers where it is. So a lot of throws have been pushed out on the bleacher sideline, but side of the field doesn't really matter right now.
Right.
It's wet though.
One thing's for sure, Clay, and you've witnessed the Canadian ultimate scene for many years. How amazing is the Manitoba ultimate scene, considering they are kind of, well, they're very remote, and you know the closest tournament is like 8-10 hour drive, but still they come to Canadian Championship always with extremely competitive team, regardless of the division. They're always there. There's something in the water in Manitoba that makes these athletes so great at playing
The
game.
developmental programs they have over the winter and getting players out practicing, the support they get from families and community. They rolled up in their chartered buses to this tournament. They travel as a huge group. It's such a great culture in Manitoba Ultimate to keep, you know, them in contention and firing in all cylinders.
So kudos to all the Manitoba people developing these wonderful athletes, which we're witnessing right now on defense, putting a ton of pressure on Toronto's handlers, barely being able to cross the midfield point, but still hanging in there. Number 5, Moores with the disc. 10 seconds are flying away. Some bumping on number 9, Ethan Pananen, but no damage done, fortunately. Toro, midfield, looking long. Disc is in the air. 4 people, but it's blocked by Toba, denying this offense hold. Looking for a second break point. It's going long. Hunted by number 44, Wong, catching it on the goal line. Flicking it in the space. Layout. Was that cut? Yes, it was confirmed by the observers. Toba scoring not only their second point, but their second break point of this crossover game. Toba in the driver's seats 2-0.
Well, this is fun.
Wow.
Wong making that catch at the end zone was actually fighting through some contact. His check was trying to get the elbows up, reach in over top of him, and he just muscled his way to grab it. And preceding that, the great help defense, the double coverage on that throw from Toro into the end zone. I saw a little bit of contact, but, you know, so far that contact has been, I'd say, fair from both sides. Both teams are playing really hard. We're not seeing anything malicious. We're not seeing any fingers grasping jerseys or pushing, but they're definitely bumping in the lanes, getting each other's ways, really competing for space, and shows you how much each team really wants it right now.
Absolutely. So for those who are less familiar with the sports, there's no contact. You cannot push, you cannot elbow, you cannot, you have to.
You're not supposed to.
You can fight for the space, and that's can sometimes be a gray line. But fortunately, we have two observers that can help resolve any potential discussions. So the observers rule they are active on the line calling, but they are reactive if there's any contested call on the field. Toro, dark jerseys, suffering 2 break point to kick things up in this crossover game. Horizontal stack. Going long, it's floating, but unfortunately 33 still bigger. Manitoba picking up the disc at their own goal line, hunting down potentially a 3rd break point to kick things off. Going long, but it's just short. But there was some contact, but no, I thought there was an injury call, but no injury call. Toro going back, going long. It's a hot fest here in Edmonton. And it's being caught after a layout, but it was out of the field. But what a layout.
Yeah, what a grab. I mean, again, seeing that effort and desire right now for that kind of play to be made. Just unfortunate the wind taking it a little too far, but number 21, Leo Shen, sick grab, dude.
Manitoba back with the disc on the open side, reset to Ezra Thiessen, but turnover. But there is a call, not contested call. So it will be Manitoba's.
Alabama kind of came around and had to reach right into the space and across the body, right? And when I say across the body, like sliding across his Czech's body to make that play. Lots of contact, and that you can't reach around in that space and push their arms out of the way. So it was a good effort, but uncontested foul.
Quickly resolve. Team Manitoba resetting almost at their own goal line. Oh, what a nice layout block by number 30, Mel Limben. Just great anticipation. Toronto hunting down their first point, but a quick, swifty little backhand, finding number 21, Leo Shen. Not only is he doing layout grab, but he also finds himself open for Toronto's first point of this game. Manitoba 2-1 right now.
First time we're going to see Manitoba's O-line come down, and they hustle down there looking like football players on a kickoff. You know what? Interesting that I think this is really going to be a battle of the mental game. As soon as Toro scored that point, there were more players from Toba on the field with their hands up cheering than there were players in the dark jerseys. So Toba trying to command the, mental dominance here. And, I mean, it's all fair, but that must be so annoying. You work really hard to get that goal, and then suddenly the team you just scored on comes out cheering louder than you. I'd be like, guys.
It is.
Don't.
Indeed. Toronto D-line, their first presence in this game. So is Manitoba O-line, their first presence on the field. So ton of energy on field number 1 here in Edmonton, Alberta, 2025 Junior National Championship. Great pull, floaty landing into Manitoba's goal line. Kind of a poachy defense by Toronto, quickly overcome by a blade. Mayday for Toronto, try to stop momentum from Manitoba midfield.
Hearing the call off
transitioning to one-to-one defense. Number 60 from Manitoba, Cassius McLaren. On the line, 5 yards away from an offense hold, and it's complete and confirmed by the observers. Manitoba taking back a 2-point lead in this crossover game, national championship.
Number 33, Jack Henwood with the goal, was everywhere that point. He was in front of the disc for the little passes. He was cutting deep. He was cutting under. I mean, I noticed him because that hair, he's easy to follow. But, you know, everywhere and just so easily done. He looks so fired up. I've seen him on the sideline. He's the first guy with his hands up, the first on field to cheer. So leadership in both picking up his teammates and his play on the field. I'd love to see that. But just quite dominant at that point.
He was acting like a mom towards her family. Like he was everywhere, seeing everything and doing most of it all, you know.
Yeah, I think you just may have destined him to be called Team Mom by his teammates.
Well, you know, I think it would be a compliment because he's taking charge.
Yeah, he took charge. That was cool.
Obviously. Toronto, on your right-hand side, waiting for the signal and waiting for Manitoba's pull. Manitoba or Toronto having suffered 2 break points so far, explaining the 2 points gap. Pull, landing at the brick mark. 1-to-1 defense against this horizontal stack. Resetting, nice bid, but just a little short. Going long again. Number 13 chasing the disc. Will that be caught in? It's confirmed in and confirmed by the observers. Wow, what a pass, what a run from Daniel Boyadjev for Toronto's second goal.
Boyadjev did a great job of keeping his back toe down while lifting his front foot up on the run to keep that in. Shout out to from Toba there. North Redder has made some big defensive plays this game, and fingertips just missed the disc on one of the early dishes in the layouts. Both teams electing to run these clearing plays off the pole where shallower players, whether they're handlers or cutters in a side stack, get out of the way. Someone deeper comes down, and as soon as that player gets it, huck time. And like you said, it is a huck fest here in this game.
And so far, we've seen most of the hucks going from the right-hand side towards the left-hand side. Got a downwind?
Yeah, it's shifted.
I think out of the 5 points scored so far, most of them were scored on your left-hand side. Kind of a downwind. So day 2, Junior National Championship. What a show are we witnessing so far? We're still very early in this crossover game. Nice pull. Great distance, but unfortunately landing out of bounds. It will be put back into play on the brick marks, which is about 20 yards from the goal line.
Yeah.
The observers ensuring, well, it went out just about 4 or 5 yards before the brick mark. So a little free ride for Manitoba. Kind of a zone poachy defense. Quickly transitioning. Great switch on defense by Toro. Manitoba with some momentum, holding it back, finding an opening right in the middle. McLaren. It's double Odax Blight with the disc, dishing it on the open side. Manitoba now in the red zone. The last 20 yards remaining before the goal zone. And here it is. Oh, unfortunate draw by Tommy Harry. It was kind of in the basket, but it was coming with great velocity. Could not handle it. Turnover in favor of Toronto. Looking for their first break point of this game. They've suffered 2 so far. Going long floaty along the sideline. Will that stay in? But no, landing out of bounds. Where did it came out? I'm assuming pretty early in the disc course.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been right at the cone. The infamous never in call. So while the disc traveled all that way, it left his hands on the out of bounds plane from the sideline and never re-entered the field. So that's right at the cone.
Manitoba a few inches away from an offense hold. Tons of traffic resetting in the middle, holding it patiently, looking for the hole. Here it is, nice left hand grab. Is it from number 7, Zhang? What a grab, and just love the way Manitoba is celebrating after each point. A ton of cheering, a ton of hand clapping. Wow, Manitoba leading 4-2.
So back in my day,
That was like
just
a week ago,
yeah,
right?
got some good advice at the time by a teammate, and that was, once we establish that we're going to throw deep, that we're going to huck, we can reel it back in. Because the defense has to be honest. Every time we strike, every time we fake a big huck on our throw, you cannot cheat. You have to respect
Absolutely.
it. Exactly. So I'd like to see that adjustment from Toro right now. You have established you're going to go for it. It's not always working. You're 1 for 3. Right? One was quite close. He was just out of bounds. But, you have that one get pushed out of bounds immediately, never in. Toba picks it up, scores in 2 throws. So now that you want to keep making those cuts deep, but tell your handlers, hey, yeah, you'll see those, and if it's full 100% green light, take it. But let's play some possession ultimate right now. Maybe you don't even tell your cutters because you still want them to strike.
Absolutely. Another great pull by Manitoba. Falling just on the line, but inside. So it's in. Great pull, great distance, considering it was upwind. 1-to-1 defense, kind of an isolation stack. Oh, tons of pressure on D, but way to hold for number 30. Malimban on the open side, midfield. Along the sideline. Great pivot work, but great footwork also from number 9, Paananen. Midfield, Toronto with great disc movement, but just out of reach of still number 9, Paananen. Turnover in favor of the white jerseys near their own goal line. Up the line, but no openings there. Resetting in the middle. Howies with the disc going back and floaty disc going up the stairs. Steadwell catching the disc. Resetting once again, but nice opening inside from Thiessen. Floaty disc. Well caught by number 21, Steadwell, climbing up the ladder to catch the disc and then just flicking it to his teammate. What an amazing execution. Great athleticism by the white jerseys. Toba scoring not only their 5th point, but another break point in this crossover game.
What a take by Steadwell. Just perfect timing to get up over everybody. We've seen in these conditions, it's just constantly the upfield throws down the middle are just popping up, and everyone's getting involved in these sky balls. And Steadwell just read that perfectly to take that over everyone. On the other side of things, offensively for Toro, they're getting going, they're getting moving. They set up in a side stack there. They've run a split stack on the side. They've run a full vertical on the side. And they've got all these different looks on offense that are really good at the beginning. They're working. They're getting the looks they want off those sets, and then they're getting to the red zone and making mistakes.
Yes, it's all been about execution. Toronto lacking of some execution, and Manitoba just taking advantage of those lack of execution. but we're far from being done. This game is intended to be a 15-point game with a halftime at 8. Unless we are running out of time, so it's 15 points or an hour 25 minutes with a soft cap.
This poll, you see lots of communication happening. That poll on the other side of things now, a Toba throw was almost never in. So where the disc went out of bounds, close to us here on our right, will get centered basically at the brick mark.
So great opportunity for Toronto. Just need to execute. The last 20 yards out of the field, always the toughest one. You have 14 players, but see what happens. A nice layout defense by Manitoba's. I think it's number 4. Isa Wong denying this Toronto hold. Number 11, North Ritter, claiming there was some contact.
I think this is a tough one because while the contact reserves went up, I don't know if that contact affected him catching it. It clearly bounced out of his hands. Although you can argue if I'm kind of in my motion and there's anything to throw me off or distract me from that, which is illegal contact, it would still count, right? So I think this is more of a discussion of
it is
when I hit your feet, because you certainly did. Was that part of your whole wind up to get up in the air, or was that just we contacted moving through the lanes and then you dropped it? But they come to a resolution. It's foul contest. So it'll go back to the thrower. I love to follow up with the observers later if they remember this moment and say, what would you have said? And you know, they always tell me, I'm not telling you, Clay, and it's so frustrating.
It is. It is. And not because they don't want to talk to you. They want to talk to you, but they don't want to talk about it. And it's okay, observers. It's a tough job. So we're being thankful of having this orange squad here with us at this national championship. Manitoba in the death corner. Another layout block, this time by number 55, Samuel Xi. Wow. What a show these two teams are providing here today. Toronto hammering it all across the field, but misconnecting. It fell too short. Toronto was there, but just missing out of execution. Manitoba, guess what? Going long. 21, chasing down the field layout, but just a little short. What a run by Steadwell.
Needed to see it one step earlier, and he would have had that layout lined up.
Clay, how many layouts have we seen so far? A dozen?
Yeah, and specifically Steadwell has just been everywhere. He was highlighted as an all-around good athlete by his coaches. So no surprise to see
he's an amazing athlete. 55 with the disc. Z on the open side. Oh, that was it down? There was a nice layout by Boyajev. He claims that he caught it before it touched the ground.
First blade of grass.
But Redder thinks otherwise. It might have touched. And the rule says, well, you know, if it touches just a tiny itsy-bitsy piece of grass, it's down.
It's down.
So even if the ground, the lawn was not accurately done at this space, was that cut in?
Yeah, so you see Steadwell here saying, I think it was out of bounds, but in this tournament, observers do lines and times. It's the observer's call of in or out stands.
Right. So they are active on line calling, but passive on another hammer cross field that lands on the ground for Toro. How high was the stall on this throw? I think it was not that.
Not high enough. My hot take.
One more time. But in the meantime, Manitoba looking to take advantage of this unforced error.
Well, and yeah, unforced. I mean, that's the best way to put it. You have 2 hammers now that were not required.
And I'm pretty sure the Toronto coach is saying the same thing to his squad. Now another layout bid, didn't touch the disc, but put a ton of pressure on number 21 on Steadwell, so he cannot grasp the disc. Toronto looking for redemption. in the red zone. Pananen resetting to Xi. Now 23 Derbyshire, one of the key handler for this Toro squad. A yard and a half away from an offense hold after a few turnovers, two of which were on the hammer across the field. Now there's a foul call.
Yeah. This is actually this is a good thing for Toro right now because they need to reorganize. Everyone's trying to be a hero right now. Everyone's cutting for the thrower. This break on the foul call might actually give you a chance to reorganize.
Great observation. There was a ton of traffic. And here to go, another gutsy throw, this time landing into number 16, Archie Carlisle, for Toro's third point, hanging in there, trailing by 2 against Manitoba. The white jerseys leading 5-3. Still a gutsy throws.
Still a gutsy throw.
A blade in the end zone. As a coach, I'm not a big fan.
I'm not a big fan either, but because it's the wind is so risky right now.
Yeah.
That throw, though, if I may, was far less of a risk to the Hammers in my mind. Right, the hammer with the wind going across, and those hammers, it's very far away. They had a lot of hang time. It was stall 2. You're far away from the end zone. Like it was a high risk for a low reward in both cases, right? And this time, you're in the end zone. Someone's all by themselves deep. You're only throwing 10 yards this time. You got to have that execution to make that throw. But, I would say it's not as bad as the hammer choices.
Right.
And I mean, blades work a lot, right? I'd say the only reason I'm kind of on the fence about that throw is just that is a risky thing to do in these conditions right now. If these conditions weren't what they were, yeah, take that all day. Oh, he
nice pull, rolling out of bounds, but he touched it, so we'll have to put it back into play in the deep end of his own goal line. So smells like potentially Callan, but quickly getting out of their own goal line and going long, and it's well caught with authority by number 19, Mike Clark, climbing up the stairs to save that disc. Manitoba just putting it back in, but a little too much angle.
Looking for Clark again. Clark, what a grab. Wow. I thought he was cooked, as they say in this division, but he got up early and had a great take.
Clark, maybe not the tallest, and well read by number 73, Frozy. Manitoba threatening, but the pass was just behind number 5, Tommy Harry. Finishing its course on the ground, Toronto looking for a break point, going long once again. It's a hawk fest here in Edmonton, hunting down, but no, landing out of bounds, was picked up by the wind. We're going a little trigger happy, are we?
Initially,
Clay?
So here's something I've seen. Number 23, Evan Derbyshire, he actually faked the huck that time. He's been throwing a lot. He faked it, massive under. Right? They had to guard the deep, massive under. And then they had another opportunity with a player going deep. You could have thrown a massive fake and would have had a free under, but instead, like you say, kind of trigger happy. And once again, I mean, Toro just keeps throwing them too far.
Absolutely. A little too much gas. Hold the gas. So there's some discussion.
I believe there was an injury call, actually.
Injury call. So I haven't seen who got injured, but hoping for the best for a quick recovery. Zone defense by Toronto, putting a new defense tactic against Manitoba, but Manitoba finds a hole. Almost midfield. Resetting. Nice bid. Great fake by Dax Blight. Getting rid of the disc. Stall was getting high, but Lucky catch by Tommy Harry, saving the disc for Toba. White jerseys moving forward, looking for a reset. Steady backhand, finding Zhang on the left-hand side. Middle, nice pass and run. Another bit by Toronto, just falling a little short. Frozy with the disc, flicking it, but the great reading. Freezy, haven't seen the Toronto player who was poaching there, and there's an injury call.
I believe that was number 19, Lucas Lau, in his pajama pants, who read that all the way up. We've got another injury call, though. Number 4.
Good thing is he can get off of the field by himself.
Kevin Tamayo taking a break.
Toronto will put the disc back into play in the death corner. Squeeze on their own goal line and the left sideline. It was caught. No, it was not caught by number 30. So another error against Toronto Malimban. Manitoba, 4 yards from the goal line. A timeout call by Manitoba while the stall is at 0.
Good idea. You know, you can set up a play, set up an ISO. You haven't used any timeouts this half, and you're in control.
You're Manitoba, as you say, you have 3 break point in your pocket. You're leading by 2. You will start the second half on offense. And so far, your all line have delivered what they had to deliver. So you're in control. And you have timeouts. Why not use them? So we'll take this opportunity in order to thank our sponsors. So the official partners of this event, Be Ultimate and Discraft. And the host is the Edmonton Ultimate Players Association. So thanks to you all for making this event a successful one. There's also Alti Photos, offering a 20% discount on all CUC disc and photos. And the platinum sponsors, the Explore Edmonton, Ivor Dent Sports Park, and Quick Seating. What a great business name. Gold sponsors, Remax, Red Thunder Media, and Dave's Diesel Repair. Not to forget the silver sponsors, also Carl's Jr., River City Events, Snowbird Rentals, Alberta Film School, True North Scaffold, and Union Hall. So thanks to you all for making this event such a great success. High release, backhand, was that cut in? Yes, confirmed again by the observers, number 60, Cassius McLaren, providing his team their 6th point of the game, securing a 3-point lead late in this first half of this crossover game.
Energy-wise, I'm just looking at these teams go off the field, and Cass McLaren hands up, high fives from all of his teammates, and lots of cheering, while Toro is quiet. And that's not necessarily telling the whole story of their energy or anything like that.
Right.
But, you know, Toro, it's quiet, heads down, eyes forward. Let's get down to business here, boys. Well, Toba's got hit that sweet spot of having a good time and playing with great intensity and focus. It's still early, though.
We have seen a ton of a very, very skillful action from Toronto. It's just that lack of execution, which, you know, let's give all the credit to Manitoba, which the White Jerseys took advantage of.
Oh, yes.
Kind of punished Toronto for their lack of execution.
And
you know.
the hunger and the focus they come with on, you know, those defensive point possessions has been so strong this game.
And Toronto is playing great defense, one-to-one defense, and you see them laying out here, there, and everywhere on the field so far. So another nice pull, but unfortunately landing, I'd say about a yard and a half, a yard and 3/4.
Yeah.
How would you say? 5'8"? just out of bounds. Let's stick to the out of bounds.
6 feet.
6 feet. There you go. Horizontal stack by Toronto. Great rotation on the open side. Number 81, Adam Liu, pushing it up the line to his teammate Carlisle. Carlisle, nice effort by number 20, landing hard on his shoulder, and he is in pain, unfortunately.
That's Malamban, who's made lots of layouts this game and lots of athletic plays, and just looked like he kind of landed funny on that one. Coach Rob right there to check him out, get what they need.
So already 37 minutes in this game, crossover game, which is intended to be played up until one of the two teams reaches out the 15-point mark, or unless we have a soft cap after an hour 20 minutes.
So
Malamban's
going to take a injury sub here.
more likely, yeah.
Yeah, Toba. Well, he is, because Toba has already put in a sub, because when the other team, in ultimate, when one team takes an injury sub, the other team is permitted to sub an equal amount of players. So they got the word that he was going to take an injury, and it's
So Malamban.
yeah, looks like he's okay,
Slowly.
walking off on his own power.
Walking
Love
up.
to see
So
it.
that's always a good sign. Giving a hand to this opponent, number 88, Liam Howes. So Toro subbing for number 21, Leo Shen, which is a player to watch. So it will be a turnover for Manitoba. Disc is in. We are back into action. Manitoba hunting down to win the first half. Going long, what? It's not a surprise, but always very exciting. Oh, number 21, Steadwell. I think he had it in his hand, but he claims there was some contact. There was a foul.
Actually, I saw that, in the moment. It looks like it's a strip call. Now, the strip is a kind of foul. And it's where you're saying, I had it in my hands, I stopped rotation, I was in legal possession of the disc, and when the defender made the defensive play, he ripped it out of my hands. And you can't do that in Ultimate. Like some other sports where you can take the ball away from an opponent, you can't do it in Ultimate. Once it's in your possession, you can only touch it when it's in the air. You can't rip it out of his grasp. So if this... It looked to me from here and on the tape that it in fact was. We are far away, but it seemed that the disc sort of, its momentum stopped and he had it, and then suddenly it sped up and flew the other way. So that looked to me like it had to have been wrenched out of his hands. The question, of course, is, what did he have a full grasp on it, stop the rotation of the disc to make it so it was his possession, or was he just about there, just coming down on it, and then it got ripped out? And then he kind of lunged to grab it. So hard to tell because everything happens so fast in these moments. So we'll see if it's an observer's ruling, if it's a no call, if it's a foul. Lots of ways to go here. It's a foul contest. Sometimes, too, observers will say to the players, listen, there's no way for me to actually tell because your hands, your backs were me, your hands were right there. I don't know if you had a firm grasp on it before it got ripped out. You both say you kind of felt it went a different way. We should just send this back. And it looks like that's what happened.
And as you very well said, Clay, sometimes it's okay to call a foul. Sometimes it's okay to contest it.
Yep.
Just go back. We don't know. Put it back and let's get back into this very exciting game. So Will Thiessen put it back long. No, he's resetting on the open side. Kind of a no-in approach played by Toronto. Kind of a last man back. Opening long, but holding it back. Finding the great cut in again by Steadwell. Right in the middle of the field. On the brick mark. Going on the open side. Steadwell laying it out, but no. Just a little too far away, out of reach. Another layout in this game. I think is that like the 2000 one? 2000, 3000? I'm not sure. I'm just rounding it down.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Another injury call, this time by Toba.
So these two teams very, very physically engaged in this game.
This isn't allowed to happen. 44 already subbed off an injury, and he's come back on for another player. I don't believe you can sub on and off an injury in the same point. No one seems to mind, but I don't think that's legal. YouTube chat, check me on that. But if you get sub for off on an injury, you can't come on for anyone else on the same point. We'll find out.
We will for sure put all our research team on that case. Toronto moving upward. Great disc movement, quick passes, tons of running. Dark jerseys in control for now. They suffered from a lack of execution. Time is running out. Great defense by Manitoba, putting a ton of pressure on the disc holder. Now, less than 10 yards from the goal line. And it's a turnover. Did he just drop the disc?
I'm not sure.
I believe that's, I think, nonetheless, Manitoba back in possession. Another unfortunate turnover, but what a steal by Toronto, but there was some bumping in there. Manitoba's players just laying it out. I think it's Jonah Wong attempted to catch that disc, but 81, Lou was already there. And he's calling
an injury. Yeah. I
think he
won't
looks
be
shaken, but he's
surprised
getting up.
to see. Well, maybe not. Yeah, okay, I'm not surprised to see this. So, number 44, Jonah Wong getting the personal misconduct foul, the yellow card. In the observer's estimation and in mine, he should have seen that that throw wasn't on his line and it was on the defender's line, and he still made the play anyway through the legs, which was dangerous.
Toronto on the goal line, and they are converting this offense. Hold their fourth point, hanging on 2 points behind Manitoba, 6-4 for the white jerseys. We are at the 44th minute of this game, so nearing the halftime. So personal misconduct.
Yeah,
Yellow card.
you have to make sure that you don't put other players at risk. And what's interesting, people get forgetful that it's not the impact of the play you made that necessarily matters. It's whether your judgment at the time, the intent was there. And sometimes the only way to teach, to follow up, to make sure there's a deterrent is to show players like, hey, the choice you made there was dangerous. It wasn't because you caused an injury or not. It's as soon as you did that, you created an unacceptable risk, and that's why you're getting the card. And what happened there, like, Jonah Wong was cutting really hard. He's been playing really well. But that throw to him he was cutting in, he was open, but that throw was off to his left. His defender had jumped that lane, was going in a straight line, was going to get there first. Wong saw him and attempted to lay out with his left hand to make it, but when he made that choice, the only way to get there was to go through the defender's body and the legs. And in making that choice, it was too dangerous, so that's why he ended up with the yellow card.
So even though you put your body on the line by layout, you need to be mindful of the other bodies.
That's correct, yeah.
Well, the pull rolling out of bound, but it was not touched. So it will be put back into play on the front goal line, not the back goal line. So that little 20 yards is a big difference. Manitoba right in the middle. Quick dish. Going long. Floaty disc. 5 people in there, but it's all about the white jerseys. Number 33, Henwood, putting his hand on this long pass. Manitoba in the middle, setting up vertical stack. Resetting to Frozy. Being patient. Open side. The floaty disc, but well caught by Blight. Some pick call against Manitoba. Toronto defending. I don't have the exact statistic, but so far I think in the long game, Manitoba has won most of these one-to-one battles so far, but still a lot of ultimate remains to be played. Resetting in the middle. Harry going back and forth with Blight. Not allowing much time for Toronto's defense to set up. Now McLaren. This nice pass and a quick continuation for Manitoba. Confirmed point by the observers. Manitoba taking back their 3-point lead, 7-4, 1 point shy of winning the first half.
Great end zone movement by Manitoba there. Tommy Airy putting his check on skates just with the shimmies and the moves. And I got to say, like, we're watching number 21, Scotty Steadwell on D-line, make athletic plays, layouts, and everything. But unsung hero, becoming my quick favorite for Toba this game, is Jack Hinwood. He is just utility embodied out there. He's making great cuts. He's got great break throws. He's being really smart. He had a good read on that sky ball. Huck, the hair.
The hair. It's the hair. It's all about the hair. Yeah. Actually, pretty jealous of his hair. Aren't you?
Yes.
We all are. That's part of the excitement of competing in a national championship. You dye your hair, and you make a statement. So hey, I'm here to give it all.
Yeah, for my team.
For my team.
Yeah.
Even though my mom is more likely not that happy about my haircut.
Yes, she is mortified.
Maybe she did it. Maybe,
Well, maybe
she
she
helped. Who knows? Pull by Jonah Wong. 1-to-1 defense by Manitoba against Toronto. Toronto looking to close the gap before the halftime. Floaty disc, it's in the air and it's caught, but there's a foul called by number 33, Silbiger.
It was actually 11 on Toba who called the foul. He felt he had his feet underneath him, and then Silbiger came in and kind of hit him from behind and put him down so he couldn't jump. I agree with North Redder here making that call. It looked to me like he was just starting to jump and then got hit, and he didn't trip on his own. Foul, no contest.
So it will be Manitoba's disc.
Okay.
Another turnover against Toronto. Manitoba holding it back. Great fake by Howies. Resetting on his left-hand side. Thiessen quickly moving up to Redder. Redder dishing it now to Bekta. Going on the left-hand side. Redder once again to Bekta. Moving quickly the disc. Forcing Toronto to adjust. But there's a timeout call by Manitoba, acknowledging the importance of the moment. They want to close the book on this first half.
Yeah, really smart timeout call. Liam Howes was making a lot of great moves that point. He did something that, we've been talking about that Toro needs to do, and there was lots of calls by his teammates just to put it into the end zone. I'm open deep. He had lots of fakes and then took some quick free unders, and now just outside of the end zone. I mean, get organized, set up an ISO, take half in one throw, or a few throws. I mean, and as I say that, I kind of want to walk that back. Yeah, you could set up an ISO to do it in one throw, or with the patience and intelligence that Toba has had with their choices, do it in 10 throws. But just keep it in the red zone. Take your time.
Absolutely. And the intuition says, well, you're there, just finish the job. But it's the toughest position to be in. You have 14 players within 30 yards long,
Yeah.
versus when you have all the full field, it's like 70 yards long. So there's a ton of movement, ton of players. You have to be very disciplined in order to take advantage and create some spacing. Toronto will push the handler upward towards the two poachy defender. 1-to-1 tight defense on the reset. Nice under back flick. And it's Manitoba scoring their 8th point after a fruitful timeout call, taking the first half 8-4 against Toronto's Toro. Well, Clay, we expected an exciting game, and we have been more than served over the last 50 minutes. So how will Toro react in the second half of the games? That's what we'll see in a couple of minutes. So we'll take a short break.
Well, we're going to do ads.
We're going to do ads.
We are, yeah,
and
and
we
then
have
we're
a
going to get some
few
interviews. Yeah.
interviews.
Yeah.
So more entertaining for you guys. Thanks for being with us. We are at the Junior Championship here in Edmonton, Alberta. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I love working with the team towards a common goal.
For the camaraderie.
Camaraderie and playing with my teammates.
I play for my team.
Teamwork and the connections that I can build on and off field.
For the community and the exercise.
Because of the community and the competition.
I like playing Ultimate Frisbee for the competition.
I play for the competition and the fun.
For fun.
Because fun.
I love getting to work hard.
You get out of it what you put into it.
Leave everything out here.
Every time I step on the field, I want to be a better player.
You know, give something people to talk about.
Be happy but never satisfied. To step away from real life and focus on Frisbee.
I play because I love Ultimate. Find your drive.
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 Halftime interview. I'm with Scotty Steadwell wearing number 21 for the Manitoba squad. Scotty, you guys kicked off really strong this game with 2 break point to start the game. What was your mindset entering this crossover?
I think we're underdogs all the time. You know, we're seeded 10th this year. We did finish 10th last year, but we're always underdogs in our minds. We gotta come out and prove to other people that we can play. You know, we're always trying to, you know, prove ourselves. You know, make big plays, be dogs out there. We're dogs, and so, you know, it's just high intensity, high energy, give it our all.
So you're now leading 8-4. What is your plan, your game plan in order to take the win in this crossover?
I think just more of what we've been doing. You know, keep the energy high. It's easy to let off the gas pedal, but we're not going to do that. We're going to keep our foot on the gas pedal. We're going to keep going. We're dogs out there. Every player on our team is a dog. We've worked all season. We've run ourselves into the ground all season just for these games, you know, so that when we're out there, we're giving it 100. We're trying to work harder than the other team all the time.
Well, thank you very much, Cody.
Yeah.
Keep up the amazing energy you guys have, and best of luck for the remaining of the tournament.
Much. Yeah, why not us? Yeah.
Okay, thank
Thanks.
you, Scotty. second halftime interview. I'm with Mikush Malimbam wearing number 30 from Toro. So Mikush, you guys have suffered 2 break points to kick things off in this crossover game. What was your mindset after suffering of those 2 break points?
Coming out this half, we're just going to play our way. We're just going to play small ball or big ball, but we're going to be calm, collected, and try to grind this game out and try to make it fun for everyone watching.
And you guys are now trailing by 4. Do you have any specific adjustment you intend to put in place in order to close that gap in the second half?
Yeah, I think we're just going to try to hit our cutters right in the chest and probably just get those completion passes down, and we'll just go on from there.
Well, wishing you the best of luck and a great continuation, and keep up the high energy for the remaining of this game and the tournament. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
We are back for this second half of this crossover game, Open Division, featuring in black Toronto's Toros against the white jerseys from Manitoba. So far, Manitoba took the lead early in the first half, scoring the 2 break point to kick things off, and they took the first half by the score of 8-4. Toronto have suffered from some lack of execution, explaining while they are trailing by 4, and with all credit to Manitoba taking advantage of those lack of execution.
So I did some homework. Turns out I was wrong. A player can sub off for an injury. And
you cannot be wrong.
Yeah, but I was. A player can sub off on an injury and come back on. In the same point, I did follow up with the observers. So if you look back in the tape and wonder about a player coming off and on, it was okay.
So taking note, Clay was wrong here today, but it never happens, so you're being forgiven.
Well, thank you.
For sure. Manitoba on the receiving end, kicking the second half off on offense. Toronto defending with a poachy defense, forcing Manitoba to reset, but finding the hole right in the middle. Still kind of a poachy defense, transitioning to 1-to-1 while Manitoba is moving upward. Number 33 laying out. Did he caught it? Waiting for confirmation of but there was a call.
Pick called.
A pick call.
Although Henwood, man, I'm telling you, layout keeps that alive, keeps his toe in. That was an excellent catch. Oh, I hope he gets it.
Henwood, wearing number 33.
And I'm saying I hope he gets it because he's my favorite.
He is. It's a very popular one.
I think, though, the pick should stand. It looked like he kind of came around the stack his check was trying to follow, and the reset from the front of the stack totally got in the way. So I think that is a very legit pick call.
He was oddly by himself.
Yes.
So sometimes, meh. So the disc goes back. Manitoba in the red zone.
Important that he caught it, though. Had he dropped it, the turnover would have stood. So great layout and effort to keep it alive for Toba here.
Absolutely. Just catch the disc. Whatever happens, just catch it. Going on the open side, quickly going sideways. Feeding number 60, Cassius McLaren, for Manitoba's 9th point, taking for the first time a 5-point lead in this crossover game, Open Division National Championship.
If you're a Toronto fan, you should be nervous. It's a 5-point lead There's 25 minutes until this game is done. That is 1 point every 5 minutes. You could argue you could get away with 4, and then the cap, you'll be in good shape. But whatever. Point is Manitoba has played a possession ultimate game. They've been so smart with the shots they take. They've had players bail them out of when the conditions have pushed those passes too far and have made it difficult to catch. So it's going to be very difficult for Toro to score quickly. I'm not saying Toro can't score quickly. I'm saying Manitoba will not let you.
They will have to fight hard. So, as Clay, you just mentioned, mathematically, it is still possible. Realistically speaking, it is a huge challenge for the dark jerseys, but one thing we're sure of, they will fight until the end. Toronto with the disc. Derbyshire going long, and still miscuing versus to number 13, Boyadjev.
So some would argue, Clay, you just said there's not a lot of time, so they have to take these hucks. I'd say, yes, but if you don't connect, now look at how much time you're going to lose on Toba's possession and a maybe will score. So Toro can't get desperate, unless, of course, you're going to make a huge defensive play right at the end zone line.
Leo Shen denying that pass, and Toronto scoring their 5th point, making this game a 4-point game, keeping the hopes alive for the Toronto squad.
Well, Leo Shen, thank you for making me put my foot in my mouth as you get the double happiness layout block and then immediately scoring. But, I mean, that was a quick score, and that's what they had to do. But, you know, Shen making that play keeps Toro in the game, right?
Right.
It's after the fact of you hucked it away when you didn't have to. So I still want Toro to move the disc upfield quickly, but try and do it with how you've established that you're going to huck and get those unders, and maybe do it in 3 or 4 throws rather than one big one.
So from a clock perspective, the last point was relatively short, which is good if you're a fan of Toronto, but still Manitoba is in the driver's seat. And in regards of the double happiness by Leo Shen, there is this expression in French. How do you translate double happiness in French? Well, there's no direct translation. So there's somebody come up with a cornet à deux boules. It's like an ice cream cone with 2 scoops.
Oh, I like that.
You know, what's double happiness? Well, you know, 2 scoops of ice cream is double happiness. So we'll stick to ultimate, and we'll let go the translation business to the experts. Toronto pulling, landing out of bound. Kind of a 1-to-1 poachy defense against Manitoba's horizontal stack. Going along, attacking the ends, but the poaching holds it back. Nice fake by number 33, Henwood. Feeds his teammate Frozy, but just out of bounds. Number 19 could not keep his feet inside the field and catch a disc. Mike Clark. So Toronto with a break opportunity in the corner of death, going upwind, and the wind is picking up here in Edmonton. 23, Derbyshire. Resetting, Toronto deep in their own zone. Floaty reset, well read and well caught by Boyadjev. Z with the disc, breaking his mark. Nice catch by Moons. 13 again, Boyadjev inside. Looking and completing a reset pass. Toronto looking for some rhythm. Upward disc is picked up by the wind, but Well saved by Mose. Again. Up the line. Shen. Toronto. Midfield. Threatening for a break point in this second half. Clock is ticking. 16 Carlisle with the disc, but blocked by Manitoba, and one man is down.
Yeah, it looks like it was Henwood and his teammate collided there. I
think it's the way he landed on the ground. Yeah. I'm not sure. Was there any contact? I'm not sure.
Maybe not. But Dax Blight is going to take us up.
He's almost smiling.
Almost
smiling. Almost.
Well,
smiling of pain. So painful
but also,
smile, is it?
Also, I mean, he read that play and got the D.
Right.
That was a great coach D at a high stall count to knock that throw down from Carlisle.
That's the thing. Sometimes you lay out for a D or for an O, and you hurt yourself. But when you get it, it's less painful. But if you don't get it, then you feel all the pain. Some discussion with the observers. I believe there might have been a foul call, or so maybe just the way the observers holds his hand. Wants to make sure everybody's in the right spot.
This is interesting. Okay, actually, so I'm hearing talk from Toro here saying that was dangerous.
Dangerous play.
Yeah, and I can see what they're saying is they're saying that Blight's defensive play put the handler going up line, like Carlisle's receiver, at an unacceptable risk. Now, from my judgment, I can't remember if that makes sense or not. Hard to tell. Yeah, I don't have rewind up here, so I'm not sure. Let's see what the resolution is here.
See, it is a turnover in favor of Manitoba, going long without any hesitation. So well read and denied by number 55, Samuel Xi from Toronto. So Toronto will have another opportunity of a break point. We are in the 70th minute of this game, which will maximum be played for 85 minutes. No, that was kind of a low disc, hard to catch for the Z. Turnover in a very favorable position for Manitoba. Lee or Zhang putting the disc back into play, resetting it on the left side. Airy looking for a reset, finds Thiessen. Thiessen just a nice flick with Clay's favorite player, number 33, Jack Henwood, catching this with authority, providing Manitoba their 10th point. We are in the double-digit zone for the white jerseys.
Interesting how after that turnover, when Froze picked it up, he elected to huck it right away. For Manitoba, it was almost no hesitation. And then, even though Toro got the D, that's actually when I heard the sideline of Toba come alive, and the coaches were players were saying, position here, you know what to do with this. So I wonder if with the time, Toba is giving their players maybe not the huck and pin strategy, but more the green light on the hucks.
Yeah.
And then we're really going to clamp down on D because we have this point advantage. So we're going to try and make Toro really work it up the field, and we don't want to turn it over close to our end zone with little throws and make a mistake so that they can punch it in quickly, right? Let's take some shots and then force Toro to have to work it the full 70 yards.
And clock is ticking, less than 15 minutes remaining to this game, unless one of these two teams reaches the 15-point mark. 10-5 in favor of Toba. This crossover game, Open Division Junior National Championship. Thiessen with a great floaty pull, landing inbound, quickly setting their defense and blocking the first pass. Atticus Cruz denying the first pass. What a great defensive pressure by the white jersey. Oh, some contact, but no arms done. Howies hangs on. Manitoba going sideways. Thiessen. Pass and run. Well, great switch by Toronto. Breaking the mark. Necta and Manitoba scoring a break point, providing themselves a 6-point lead late in this second half. It's all about the white jerseys for now.
Toba capitalizing on that miscommunication by Toro there. They thought they had a cut-up line. Instead, they wanted to get, like, the handler thought it was going to come back, but the throw was made anyway up line. And then some good patience in the end zone. That goal, such a dagger right now for Toro. They're now at a 6-point deficit with 13 minutes. If the math is mathing, I would say this is insurmountable for Toro, but not in their effort or their attitude. I think they simply have no time. There's just time is just not on their side. I don't see how they can score 6 points in what will be 12 minutes.
And I'm trying to think of a situation, at least in the ultimate, where the math would not be mathing. But I think you're absolutely right. Hey. Once again, Manitoba with the pull. Number 77, Ezra Thiessen. What a game have he played so far for the Toba squad. Toronto will fight until the end, but the gap now is a long way considering the few minutes remaining on the clock. Right now, 11 minutes remaining unless Toba's reaching the 50-point mark. It was a pick call.
It actually seemed there had been a foul call initially between Shen and Thiessen, and then a pick happened after some other players had stopped running. I think Shen and Thiessen are arguing about who had the right to space and which player sort of arm barred the other guy. And they're, of course, pointing at each other and saying, "No, you."
Of course.
Yeah.
Toronto midfield. Shen feeding Pananen. Great dish up the line. Feeding low, wearing his PJs. Well, as long as you're comfortable, you can wear anything you want. Shen again. Oh, just putting a floaty disc. It's a pass in the end zone. Number 81, Adam Liu, lands with the disc in his hands, confirmed by the observers. Toronto's 6th point, closing a little the gap, but still trailing by 5 with less than 10 minutes remaining on the clock.
So I'm watching the Toba coaches right now. They're talking to each other, looking at their watches, walking over to the observer, asking the observer what time we got, perhaps asking, hey, how many timeouts do we have left? And thinking about how will we ensure we're going to win with the tools we have. The horn goes, signaling soft cap being put on after the conclusion of this following point. So we'll talk about what happens at this following point, but it seems that Toba has just taken a timeout. I believe it was Toba who took the timeout. This is to burn the clock, because now we are 10 minutes away from the hard cap. An excellent strategic decision by Manitoba here. I mean, this is a crossover. The winner goes to the quarters. Last year, if you're Manitoba, you're remembering how you got knocked out in this very same game. So this is for your own program. This game is a must-win.
It is.
It is a must-win. Beyond it being a must-win for the tournament and moving on, it's bigger than that. So I support that timeout. I think that's really intelligent. Toro just has to be ready to pull. As soon as Toba's 60 seconds is up and they put up their hands, Toro's got to pull. If they're working out who they're going to defend, who they're going to take, they're just wasting valuable seconds right now. And, again, I don't know if it's possible, but here they go. See that? Hand goes up right away and they pull. Have to do it.
Great pull by Toronto, rolling out of bound. Did that landed in?
It did, but it won't matter. Toro was offside. So there is an offside signaled right away. So all Toba has to do is let it hit the ground. It doesn't matter where it goes after that, and they get to bring it to the brick.
You have to be mindful of the line when you're pulling. Don't cross the line.
And they're rushing. I mean, you could hear in my voice the urgency here for Toro. You're rushing on the pull, you go offside.
What are you going to win? You're going to win 2 inches before setting your...
That's true.
Just hold
wait.
it back. Don't give the other team a free ride with an offside. So zone defense by Toronto. Nice high release by 73 Frozy. Great momentum by the white jerseys. Entering the red zone, Zhang feeding Henwood. Henwood flicking it. Great bid by Toronto, but falling a little short. McLaren now with the disc. There was that a pick call? It is indeed. Derbyshire being the victim of that pick call. Some discussion still with the observers, ensuring everybody is in the right position. You have to go back to where you were at the moment of the call. Nice pass and run by McLaren, but it's Henwood opening himself up. But very disciplined stack by Manitoba. And the point is confirmed. Number 11, North Redder, providing the white jerseys their 12th point, one step closer to this crossover victory.
So soft cap horn went during what we call the point having been started. Points start as soon as the previous goal is signaled by the observers being a goal. So that time between calling the line and the pole going off is actually part of the point. So now that they just scored and the soft cap is on, it is game to 13. So Toro needs 7. Toba needs 1. Advantage Manitoba.
If I had a loony to bet.
A whole loony?
A whole loony. I'd go for Toba.
Yeah.
It's pure mat. And when the mat is matting, as you said.
Yeah, that'll cost you $1.35 with tariffs, though.
$1.35? the exchange rate, I guess.
Yeah.
So
producer Sarah noticing we're getting political over here. Nope, just freaking her out. It's fine. Don't worry, producer Sarah, who has been doing excellent work. And one of our commentators, Jen Beck, is actually taking over on the computer, having her hand at updating the score stream for you. Oh, the pull is up. We'll get back to the game.
Great pull landing in Toronto's goal line, goal zone. 1-to-1 defense. Denying the ins by Manitoba. The 10 stalls are going up. Great pass. Finding Boyajev. Boyajev is just flicking it to 16 Carlisle. Along the sideline. Holds it back. Going long! It's floating! And it's well read and caught by number 55, Xi. And quickly dishing it for Toronto's 7-point. What a great aerial battle won by Xi. But we are at the end of the game. But nonetheless, what a great action. They're still fighting until the end.
Yeah,
great attitude.
We do still have 5 minutes. Be fuel hard cap here. But when you say end of the game, I mean, 5 points, 4 minutes, hard cap's going to go on. Toba can be really smart. here because I think they still have a floating timeout to use, or their second timeout of the half. Fortunately, I do not have how many timeouts teams are allotted in each half. At least one, and then you usually have a floater. If I'm remembering correctly, Toba has definitely not used more than one this half and not more than two this game. Therefore, they still have a floater.
They still have the floater, right?
Yeah.
Toronto
So they could just use that to run it out. If you're coaching, you're probably noticing we don't even need to do that right now. There's just no way the timing will work out.
But I suspect Manitoba's right now, their mindset is let's finish this game off. Let's convert on this offense, hold, and move on to quarter final and redeem from last year 10th position. Manitoba on their own goal line. Kind of a horizontal isolation approach. But Callahan! Callahan by Toro, number 3. Cameron Mones. But no confirmation from the observer. Was that caught inside or on the line?
I believe 73
There's a foul. Is
being
foul call?
Or no, maybe it's in or out. I'm not sure. No, it is an in or out call.
Oh.
I mean, when we're talking about saving time, and Callahan's the way to do it, but then if you have a discussion, just immediately go to the observer. You will either have possession or it'll be a goal, but then you can score. You have no time to talk about this.
So let's see what's the output like. So it's
not in.
Confirmed not in. But let's give all the credit to Cameron Mones. What a way to be fired up. Catching that pass on the goal line. A few centimeters from a Callahan. Toronto. Quick dish to Derbyshire. Floaty dish. Dangerous, but unfortunate. There was a lot of body bumping in there. Everybody fighting hard for the disc. 2 men down for Manitoba. There was 1 man down for Toronto too, but he's up, inquiring about these 2 opponents.
I think this was some blue on blue. I think both Manitoba players,
ran into one another.
Ran into each other. They were just trying to make the play, and I mean they did what they got to do. North Redder seeming to take the worst of it, but thanks to those 2 closing the gap and getting inside, did contact each other while they boxed out. I do believe Toro was involved with the contact, but Toba was boxing out. They did a good job of that, but definitely, more contact with each other as then everybody also fell down.
So I went from screaming Callahan to injury. Just within a couple of seconds,
just like that,
unfortunately. Yeah. Well, that's what Ultimate is all about. And there's still some discussion, but we are now entering, it's now 11:55 Edmonton time. The 85 minutes have been played.
We'll hear the hard cap horn any second. Hard cap signifies finish the point, finishes the game, unless it's resulting in a tie and you play universe, but we'll likely finish this point and that will be it, or play one more.
So, and while we're hearing the horn signaling the hard cap, in regards of the continuation of today's program for the webcasts, we're far from being over. There's 2 more webcasts on schedule. The next one will be at 12:30 Edmonton time. So if you're in Quebec or Ontario, it's 2:30 p.m. There will be a quarter final game in the women's division, followed 2 hours later, so 2:30 Edmonton time. So say 4:30 out east, where we'll have feature a quarter final in the open division, while we're seeing the last point score by Toronto for putting an end to this game. Final score, Manitoba 12, Toronto 8. Manitoba moving on to the quarter-final, while Toronto, unfortunately, will fight for, I believe, the 9th position. If I'm not
that puts
mistaken.
them in the 9th place bracket. I mean, a big win for Manitoba for the scope of this tournament moving on. I mean, this puts you in the quarterfinals. Obviously, you got to win games if you want to win the tournament, but you know, this is an excellent rebound from last year. Coaches and players should be proud of themselves to get back into that top 8 where they feel, and most of Canada feels, they belong as a program. So to get back there, that's awesome. Toro's story for the game: played great, lots of athleticism shown, but it was just, you know, running away from them based on their own choices, I think, on the Hucks. It was just too many choices that were risky and they didn't go your way versus your opponent, who played a far more calmer, collected, and smart game than you. So perhaps looking at that and saying, yeah, we just did take too many risks. The hunger was there, but, you know, Toba showing more of a complete game to take the dub.
So from a score sheet perspective, Manitoba was leading by 4 after the first half, and they've actually won the game by 4. So the second half was all about exchanging points.
Yeah.
So that summarizes our second webcast of the day. Of course, Clay, I'm being very, very thankful of sharing the mic with you once again. It was a ton of fun. Hope you had as much fun as we did for this webcast, and looking forward for 2 next upcoming webcasts. We'll start in about a half an hour for the quarterfinal in the women's division, followed 2 hours later by the open division quarterfinal. We don't know the teams yet, but they will be announced shortly by Ultimate Canada. So stay tuned. And in the meantime, well, you know, grab a coffee, grab a soft drink, and go outside, throw some discs. Cheers. Take care.
Stage to keep possession alive.
Huge bid, gets the tie.
Great opportunity for the Germans, and they break it. They throw it the full 80 yards to the field. Are you kidding me? And an incredible catch. You are kidding me.
Oh my God!
One of the plays of the year.